So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the State of HETMA keynote address. I'm Erin Maher-Moran, the chair of HETMA's board of directors, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you today as part of our virtual conference. Whether you're joining us from your office, your home, or somewhere across the globe, thank you for being part of this incredible community. So today is about transparency, celebration, and vision. It's about looking honestly at where we've been, celebrating what we've accomplished together, and getting excited about where we're headed as an organization. So this past year has been transformational for HETMA. We've grown in ways that our co-founders might not have imagined when they first created this organization. And yet, everything we've done has stayed true to that original vision, building a community where higher education technology professionals can connect, learn, grow, and elevate our entire field. So we've expanded globally. We've brought education programming and networking opportunities to members through roadshows, trade show appearances, and events like this virtual conference. And we've done all of this while maintaining the collaborative, supportive spirit that makes HETMA feel less like an organization and more like a family. But here's what matters the most. None of this is about us on this panel. It's about you, our members, our volunteers, and everyone who shows up for this community. HETMA is strong because you make it strong. So today I'm joined by our incredible board of directors, the leaders who give their time, expertise, and passion to guide this organization. We're going to share insights into our strategic direction, our challenges and opportunities, our accomplishments, and our aspirations. So let me real quick introduce our panel. We've got Troy Powers, the vice chair from Northwestern University. Troy has been deeply involved in our HETMA roadshows, is instrumental in supporting cross-organizational initiatives and helping ensure our strategic vision becomes a reality. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you.
And
Glad to be here.
yes. And so then we also have Annie Foster, our secretary from Washington and Lee University. Annie keeps us organized, on track, and accountable for to our commitments. Good to have you here with us, Annie.
Glad to be here.
And we also have Dustin Myers, our 2-year at-large member from John A. Logan College. And we have Teddy Murphy, the 1-year at-large member from University of Pikeville.
Hello.
And we also our other 3-year member is Britt Yenser from Northampton Community College. So our at-large board members, they bring the vital perspective of community colleges and smaller institutions to our decision making. And then we also have with us Ryan Gray, editor of Higher Ed AV Media from Yavapai College. Ryan is helping amplify HETMA's voice and our members' stories through media. And then we, of course, our co-founders and emeritus board members, Joe Way from UCLA and BC Hatchett from Vanderbilt University. And they are the visionaries who started it all and continue to guide us with their wisdom and experience. And unfortunately, Atkins Fleming, our treasurer, was unable to join us today, which this is a reminder to us all that we are an all volunteer organization and sometimes our full-time jobs have to take the priority. So Atkins is always there ensuring that we're investing our resources wisely to serve our members effectively. So over this hour, we're going to go dive deep into the state of the organization. We'll celebrate our wins, acknowledge our challenges, share our vision of the future, and most importantly, we want to hear some questions from you. This isn't, just a presentation. It's a conversation about our community, all of us, and where we want to go together. So get comfortable, get ready to put those questions in the chat, and let's talk about the state of HETMA, where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. So let's start off with a little year in review. I'll put this to Troy first. As we look back at the past year, what accomplishments or milestones makes you the most proud of HETMA's progress?
I think the Road to 10K initiative and the progress we've made there has been incredible. I think, when we first announced it a year ago, like I was skeptical, that we'd get there. So that's been great. I think the turnout we had at ISE this year, year over year, it's been better each year, right? But I think this year it was just leaps and bounds, better. Our presence at the Ed Tech show also. Yeah, only 7 months ago. You're right. Yeah, not even a year. We still have time to go. Um, so I think those kind of are two of the big standouts to me. Just I think upcoming, the first international event in Belgium at Thomas More University. I'm really excited for that. And we're getting ready to gear up to kind of plan that more earnestly now. So I'm really excited about that as well.
Yeah. And how about you, Annie?
Yeah, I'm excited about the state of the roadshows and where we're going with those. The expansion to more areas, including Netherlands and then other, I mean, anywhere around the globe. Um, Also the collaboration with other organizations. I think reaching out to other organizations and supporting each other is really exciting. And I'm looking forward to where those relationships take us. Um, oh, and then like focusing on the local connections.
Absolutely. So, and Dustin, what accomplishments are you proud of?
I'm really proud of the road shows. We took those and have grown them even more. And the idea that those road shows have taken cultivated more of regional stuff without actually HETMA being there running those. I know, like in the Chicago area, they're meeting regularly. It's really what we're trying to accomplish. And then branching out into Belgium and who knows where's next. So road shows have been huge for us.
Yeah. And Teddy.
Well, so everyone keeps hitting the road shows. Of course, the road shows have been big this year, but we've also had a huge growth. Like our presence at InfoComm has even grown. The maturity of our summit has really taken precedent. There's a lot of good growth going on there. Um, that's probably one of the most things I'm most proud of because, sitting on the education committee with our great group of people over there, we put a lot of effort into that, and when it comes off, it's phenomenal. Um, so that and like I'm trying to work to coordinate more regional groups, especially being in Appalachia. So and that's helping us. That's something I'm proud of is I've been able to utilize the platform of HETMA to be able to reach out to more people in the region.
Excellent. Yeah. And Brian, Higher Ed AV Media, man, since you've taken over, well done, sir. What are
Oh,
you
all
most
right. So appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Hired AV Media, very excited. So if you're, bookmark hiredav.com and go visit every day. In the fourth quarter of last calendar year, the second quarter of our year, we had 90 individual pieces of content go up in that quarter. That is basically one a day, which has been what we've been trying to get to. But it's not happening because I'm doing it. It's because so many people are now getting involved in sharing their voice, creating content, help post, help organize. You know, there's some excitement and stuff building behind it. So I'm A, excited to continue that, and then B, for us to continue to expand our mission in what we do. So we are kicking off a set of meetings to basically get prepped for InfoComm and really kind of make a huge jump forward in the media and coverage that we can do from InfoComm, both to document what's going on there, but get information out to all of our members that don't get to go to InfoComm so that A, you can feel like you were there, but B, you can get information from the exhibitors and from the sessions and the things that are going on. So A, check that site every day, and B, if you're up for it, go in our community. There's a Hired AV channel. Go join and take a look at what's coming up because it's a very, very exciting time.
excellent. Absolutely. And how about you, BC? What are you proud of?
Everything, honestly. It's great to continue to watch how the organization matures. all of those programs that were started with the phrase, you know what would be cool? Just continue to grow in their success and their impact. And it's wonderful to see the results of that and to see all the volunteers stepping up and stepping in and bringing their ideas and thoughts and vision to HETMA and everything that we do to just make them that much more special.
All right. Sorry, Britt, I just added you into the spotlight. As one of our board members, we have been talking about the things this year that has made us proud of HETMA. I know that you've kind of been a little bit distracted by life, but
but I definitely am super proud of our org, and I've loved to see the growth of our online community. So like Mighty underwent some really phenomenal changes to be more user friendly and just like really just a beautiful place. And like same for Heave. I'm so impressed by the way our website looks now, like just a very like cohesive online magazine that's like a joy to visit.
excellent. Yes, yes. All right. And Joe, gotta hear from the man.
I'll say the one thing that I've been, I don't know, most impressed with over it, obviously the board, but more, I want to specifically call out you and Troy. The way you both have taken hold of this organization and really made it your own. And I've seen this growth over the last 7 months from when we did the press conference to kind of say, you know, this is the direction, and see how that has just completely taken charge, and to see it here today. This is the first virtual conference where I'm not leading the the whole State of HETMA and all of that. So that's where I love what you're doing, and having it kind of grow on its own. And that's one thing I've said from day one. It's not really an organization until it lives beyond the founders, right? And so it's just been awesome to see. So kudos to you and Troy specifically, and of course all the rest of the board who support, and all the chairs who support. But it takes strong leaders like the both of you to be able to do that.
Absolutely appreciate hearing that. So I'll put this out to all of you. Has there, what surprised you the most about HETMA's growth in evolution this year? So I will actually kick this one off with my answer. I'm surprised that we have hit our goal already. Like we technically we've hit the 10,000 member number already. Which when we started planning all of this, it was kind of like it seemed like a goal that was out there and a little bit ambitious, but here we are already, and we've done it. So are there any other surprises out there?
I think how consistent it was, the growth, like it kind of came on and never really dropped off too much. It just we had consistent growth the whole time.
And I gotta say that like if there's one thing that HETMA keeps doing is surprising me with everything that we can pull off. I am a little bit of a planner and I like to have all the details in place before I do anything. And HETMA as an org doesn't exactly move that way. And I am always amazed at how everything comes together because of all of the committed people who are working towards the same goal.
Absolutely. Because it is one of those, all of us being higher ed professionals, we're used to moving at the speed of higher ed, which tends to be a little on the slow side because it's so, got to work through all the red tape and the things and make sure that everybody's on board. And but yeah, at HETMA we get an idea and we're like, let's go. That's good. That's good. So now I'm going to shift into a little bit, talk about strategic initiatives and growth. So I'm going to start with you, Troy. you've been supporting a lot of initiatives this year between the road shows and education committee and the events and all of the relationship management, like between the other organizations that we work with and our sponsors. Like, what strategic priorities, are driving HETMA's decisions right now? That was a
Oh,
big one.
that's a tough one. I think tough maybe is a strong word. I think really I think we just maintaining what we've done in the US and Canada, like maintaining and just like maybe incremental growth, um, and really kind of focusing the efforts on kind of trying to build like the base of a community in regions across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. I think that's kind of been the focus. Um, because I think we've got really a great kind of program. I think we do a pretty good job with the deliverables that we provide to our sponsors, and I think we do a pretty good job with what we provide to our members. And I think, the kind of the best thing we can do is just make all of those things a little bit better, right? So that everybody's getting more out of the things we already do. Because what we've been talking about, like we grow so fast because we just kept coming up with new ideas and kept just implementing new ideas. And that's been awesome and it's been wonderful. And I don't think we'll ever really stop doing it that way. But it's also good to have some time to kind of think about what you're doing a little bit and maybe, hey, let's take some lessons learned from what we've done so far and make some little changes here and there to make things better and make things more valuable for everyone. And I think that's been a great. I think that's really why we're going to do as well as we've kind of done so far in Europe, because we already have a kind of a base for what we need to do, and now it's just about adapting it to the cultural differences a little bit, and really we can kind of move probably pretty quickly compared to how we moved really fast here in the U.S. And Canada, and I think we can do that even quicker other places because we built such a strong kind of foundation and are continuing to kind of build upon that foundation.
Yeah, Troy, I want to go on something that you had said. Nothing is complete until I've taken over. So this is my takeover right here. That with all the growth and all the things we do, just remember that every one of our initiatives, the 27 of them, was started because some member said, why don't we? And then we followed up with, thank you for volunteering to be the chair of that committee, and let's throw the resource to do it, right? So when you say how much have we grown, but the growth came from ideas of people who are members, right? And things that people said, well, this is what I need, not because we walked in and said, this is the organization you get, right? And I think that's huge. And I think that's the testament to why it keeps going. And anybody else who's in the call and listening and goes, I have this idea, this is where you speak up and we say, thank you for volunteering to be the chair of that. And let's do it.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, it takes a village to make this all run, but it's, we listen and we're here for you all. Like, that is why HETMA exists, and we want to be making sure that we're serving the group. And so that actually leads me to a question that I want to put out to the at-large members. Dustin, Teddy, and if Britt jumps back in. You all bring kind of a diverse institutional perspective to our group. And what are you, hearing either from members or just seeing in the community, in the chats and things like that, about what the community needs the most from HETMA right now? Like, what are the things? What do we need? What do we need?
If
For the
Dustin's
people.
okay, I'll go ahead. We're still seeing more people talk, like we are the advocacy organization for higher ed, and there's still a lot of smaller institutions that still feel their voice isn't being heard. And there's a lot of needs that smaller institutions aren't seeing. And I'm still like, I come from a small institution, so I'm still trying to make that a huge focus, and really make that where I make my impact as a member of the board. Because I've seen what being an active member of the organization has done for me and the University of Pikeville, because now people will listen more to the ideas that we are having. So like being able to get more of the small schools to band together as members and be more active within our community will also help elevate that voice within the small institutions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And echoing what Teddy said, it also goes into being from a small school like Teddy, um, with all the budget cuts and everything that's kind of affected higher education over the last year or so. The need for training like this virtual conference, our lunch and learns, our education summit, uh, being able to offer that to those smaller schools who wouldn't normally get a chance to be able to attend and get that educational knowledge, or making the connections with different manufacturers about products and stuff like that, is really what my focus is with the board.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Absolutely. And so, and I hope everyone realizes that we want to hear from you and absolutely share how we can serve you better. If there are things that we can, we may not be able to do it overnight. It may not be the fast, quick initiative, but we absolutely want to make sure that we're serving the people, and that we're doing all the things that we can to help you and your career. And so, and how do we do that for our community? A lot of that goes in, it's because of our initiatives. And so I want to, talk about a couple of our initiatives that we may not have had shed as much light upon, or deserves a little extra boost. So I want to with basically our Prism scholars, we are kind of halfway through their cohort time together, for this group. And I want to talk about how we see that program evolving and helping serve more of the community, and how we can get the word out more about the program. So I want to, if I can look to you first, Annie, since you were kind of one of the people who really championed this program from the get-go. I and like you've always been someone that the cohorts can kind of turn to, even as we change who the chair is that's responsible for the program. But I always love that Annie has kind of taken that on as being, one of the initiatives that she really takes a lot of. But I want to hear from you about it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to me because I think while I haven't been a Prism scholar, I relate a lot to the Prism scholars. And I want to provide them as much support and guidance as HETMA can. And I know that HETMA has so many resources available to us between all of the subject matter experts that we have within our membership, but also the collaborations that we have within the industry with manufacturers and with AVIXA. So I'm really excited about where we can go with that and how we can support all of the people who are in the current and former cohorts. We are trying to add more publicity to the higher ed media and do interviews and really spotlight the people who have received the scholarships. Because I think what I hear most about people who are thinking of applying to the scholarship is that they're self-editing. They are deciding before they even submit the application that they're not worthy or that someone is more worthy. And I think what the message that we're trying to get out there is that no, you are worthy. And this is exactly who you are, exactly who the scholarship was made for. And I'm really excited about the Infocom trip this year. I think we're developing the program for the cohorts, and we're really going to introduce them to the industry and to vendors and to other people in the organization. And I think it's just going to be an excellent time.
Yes, absolutely. And Kamisha, our chair that oversees the PRISM program this year, is really working to try to curate a great experience for our scholars this year. So we're definitely looking forward to that. Anybody else want to chime in on the PRISM scholarship before I move on to the next initiative?
Yeah, I would love to. Sorry, I'm also multitasking, but as someone who was a PRISM scholar, I can't speak enough to how life-changing it was for me. And like the Brit who you know now is not the Brit who was the person who received that scholarship. Because when I was told about it, my first reaction, exactly what Annie was saying, I was like, why even bother doing that? What, so I can be told that I'm not getting it? So like I can lose another opportunity. Like I was so used to doors being slammed in my face, and the PRISM scholarship was the first door that opened. So definitely like if you feel called, apply. I would love to see our PRISM scholars thrive.
Absolutely. Yes, and Dustin said in the chat, we're always looking for mentors to help out with the program. So we could spend way more time on that, and I feel bad for kind of being like, okay, and now next. But I also want to touch on the HEX micro-credentialing program. So as if the education committee does not do enough between planning this event and our the education summit at Infocom and our monthly lunch and learns, they've also taken upon them, the task of creating a micro-credentialing program specifically for those higher ed AV professionals. So as this kind of program continues to evolve, we haven't really this is one of the programs that we actually have been a little more careful about. We haven't rushed this one. But I want to what is our vision with this? And I'm kind of looking to Teddy and Dustin on this one because I know that they've spent a lot of time, and also Troy, like on the education committee working on this.
I'll let Troy. Do you want to take the lead on this?
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, HEX is it's a credentialing program that I guess we first announced at the virtual conference 2 years ago. Um, uh, and it's been a lot to kind of get going. I think we're kind of at the last stage where we figured kind of the beginnings of it out, and the only holdup now is kind of a technical holdup that's keeping us from being able to track things well. But I mean, the idea behind the HEX credential, yeah, the A is silent. That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot all about that. That's so funny. Um, the thing about Hex is it's not like a certification where you take a class and then you take a test. It's just like a curated list of like classes that are higher education AV related, that are good classes that are worth like the time and investment. You take, some of them are going to be like you take these classes, and then some of them will just be take, X number from this list. and then you finish that, and you get the credential, and then if you're looking for a job, if you're looking to move around, if you're just looking to pad your resume, it's something that you can just kind of throw out there and say, hey, I have a basic knowledge of how to work in higher education AV. And then we're going to expand it eventually too. Just kind of want to get the one out there, to kind of make sure everything works well, and then we'll expand on it, and eventually there'll be tracks for like program management, excuse me, project management, programming, design, higher level troubleshooting and support kind of things. So that's kind of the direction that we're looking. I don't know to Teddy, Dustin, and anybody if I missed something.
I think you really hit the nail on the head with it. It's a good overview in about 2 minutes as opposed to an hour.
Right. Yeah. And the intention of the micro credential is not to take the place of any other certifications or whatnots that are out there, but we want to try to offer the higher ed community something that can show a baseline of knowledge that they can show to others in the industry that they know this amount, but also trying to keep the barrier of entry low, because we know that sometimes some of these courses are expensive to take. So we've been very thoughtful on the selection of the education that's out there, to include in the micro credential. But yeah, it's very exciting to see where where this can go and evolve, because we're starting with the basic, but then we can come up with tracks and different levels, and but yeah, so it's very this is great, and I'm looking forward to seeing this all evolve as it comes out. So now I want to talk a bit about membership and our community. And so like this year we've been on our road to 10K journey. And but what does sustainable membership growth look like for our organization? Like, how do we balance growth with maintaining the tight-knit community feeling that kind of makes HETMA special? And I didn't really have anybody in particular
Oh,
that I was gonna go to this one first, but
being active, I mean, we need more people involved who can help lead the committees and even more subcommittees so that everyone feels like they are contributing. We have a large membership, and I hear a lot of people say, well, how do I get involved? Just show up to a meeting. And that's the only way we're going to be able to maintain sustainable growth and make sure that everyone feels tight knit, is if everyone wants to contribute and feels like they're making a difference. And so just be active in the community, be active in a committee. We're not asking for a lot of time. I mean, we have a lot of initiatives, and we would love to have more people on board. I mean, you said it yourself. The education committee is pretty slammed, and we could definitely use a few more hands over there. And we've had a few new ones show up. I won't call anybody out or any Ryan Atkins, uh, but we could still use some more growth.
Yeah, having the new voices has really helped. And then also kind of like what Joe said on his podcast about, like when I started, like Erin, you joining those meetings with your video off, audio off, and you slowly opening up and talking. And that kind of helps expand our growth and what we're going to do and different initiatives we offer. So.
Yeah, I want to go on this because, obviously our big thing was, kind of growing the membership, growing our reach and all of that. That's been the focus for this year. But I think we always come back to, while there is a number in it, hashtag road to 10K, it's not about the number, right? You can't reach and change lives until you've reached those lives, right? So I think the key now is, okay, yes, it's engagement, but the organization is only as good as the people who take advantage of what's there, right? Like we can do all these things and we can have, you know, 10,000 people throughout our different platforms, but and we know there's a lot of lookers. I look at the stats, but take that next step and say, okay, how can all of this, what are you really interested in? And step into it, whatever it is. There's so many opportunities. And the thing is it just takes just speaking up or showing up, right? And then let the organization be, if you listen to which I still need to listen to, however that live between the two booths went, hashtag organic and authentic, that was there. But that's what we are about. And so I think I swear I can answer the question at some point. Is getting away from, okay, the growth is important because it's the lives that change, but it's really, okay, it's there. Now let's grow that engagement. Like, look here. I mean, I know if we follow the trends, right, there will be 300 and some people, maybe 400 over the course of 3 days who join the virtual conference, right? That's typically how we go, right? About 100 different a day, right? Or so, and it grows and comes in and out. Okay, well, 10,000, that's only 2%, 3%, I guess, of the membership, right? So that means, so how do we serve the rest of the people and get to them? Because, one thing about being a free organization, it is, honestly easier to grow when you cost nothing. But let's now, find ways that you're in. How can we help serve you? That's what this platform is about, is serving every single person to improve. And I know James, by the way, if you have been reading the chat, I mean, just go read every one of James Kings's comments on here. And that's really our whole point. And we can't, I don't know. Okay, maybe I won't answer the question. I'll just stop talking now.
The moment that everybody loves anything when Joe stops talking. But
yeah, so I would add to what Joe's saying there is, there is when you hear about all the things going on in HETMA, it can be really daunting, right? And that thought of like, that is a huge time commitment. And as someone who has had to kind of go like, yeah, I cannot do everything in HETMA. If I try to, I'm not going to do my job well more, or, so to choose, start with one. Pick one committee to come to, make it events, make it education. Find one piece that you can say, this is something I can sink my teeth into and find my way into it, and don't let the feeling of like some of the people you see and hear that are making, lots of different committee meetings every week and seem to know everything that's going on, be what it takes to say, I'm going to participate and get involved, pick one thing to start with. Go, advisory boards. I'm going to help pick up advisory boards and run, and you'll find that, there's a lot of return in each one of those. And there's a lot of opportunity to get involved that doesn't have to feel like it becomes a second job,
I 100%. I think, even with the committees, like it's a very low commitment way to get involved because like that we don't take attendance. You don't need to be there the whole time, every week. Like just show up when you can show up and offer your help and opinions when you can. We've got a number of other kind of real super low effort ways to get involved. Like we're, if you are interested in working, kind of more closely with the manufacturer, we're looking for people to kind of be a business relationship manager with our sponsors. And I mean, that's as easy as just, sending an email once every 2 weeks and answering an email when they respond. It's a pretty simple low effort way. I mean, hey, if you've got a manufacturer that you already, is a sponsor and you already kind of work with them, it's a great way to kind of, get more involved. Yeah. So, there's just a ton of ways. You don't have to show up every day. You don't have to, be there every week for everything. We like, I get tired of hearing my own voice. I want to hear somebody else's voice. So just come on when you can and, no, don't feel like you need to be pressured into doing more than you're capable of, more than you're able to.
Well, and also, if you like trying out gear, HETMA Approved is like a great way to get involved. We're always looking to get more, more people as set up as approvers.
Yeah.
Um,
I think even at a more base level, even if joining committees or being on, that element of HETMA is not your thing, just throw some threads out there on the community. Get involved with conversations that are going on. I remember way back in the day, back when Chris Netto was starting AV in the AM, I just jumped on and started doing it because, hey, I'm in the AV community. The important thing to remember is that this is your organization. This is your community. There is absolutely no barrier to entry. Just start throwing posts out there, and I guarantee you will start getting that engagement with your colleagues across the country, and it's paid off massively for us. Getting to know folks everywhere and different size schools, different types of schools. So just make those conversations start to happen, and everything else will grow organically.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's now's time for a little bit of honesty for everybody. Like, so what has been the biggest challenge for HETMA that we've faced this year, and how are we navigating it? How are we getting, taking that opportunity and moving on with that? I know that
I
was
think I think what we were just kind of talking about. I think the biggest problem that HEM has always had is getting more people engaged further, right? I think that's the problem that I think probably every organization has. Here we are. I think all we can do is continue doing because look, like if you look at like the website engagement and the things that we've done, like we're doing a really good job as compared to other organization metrics, but it still feels like we're hearing a lot of the same people talk and seeing a lot of the same, so I'd love to, yeah, like I said, I'm tired of hearing my voice, tired of hearing Joe's voice, tired. I want to hear new voices is kind of the key there, right? I want to hear new people talk. I want to hear new ideas because that's how you grow, like as an org, as an industry, as a profession, like introducing new different ideas from people who haven't been speaking up. So that's the challenge, I think, has been engagement. And I think we're making the right moves to kind of make those changes. It's just like it's a long-term investment. You just got to keep on doing the things, even if there's not a huge return on the investment right away.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on that. That yes, we are tired of hearing our voice, especially Troy's. But no, I'd say the challenge is one of those like that it's a challenge, but it's not, right? Just realize we've been around for 7 years. Okay, like let and not even right. It's March. We're a month away from our 7 year anniversary, right? So that's so how much has been done, right? I think the things that we've had troubles with is like the victim of fast growth, right? And balancing that and how to deliver for everybody, members and partners and all of that, while growing these initiatives. But if you sit there and think, and while we absolutely want the new voices, it's hard to say, okay, I want to hear new voices, but then look, everybody who's here found us somewhere, found through a virtual conference, got engaged, right? This is from when BC and I started this. You sit there and go, dang, okay, we couldn't have ever imagined this great eclectic group of people who are running this organization, right? So the fact is, it has happened. We want to keep it going, but the challenge has been managing our own success, right? And making sure we can continue to deliver for everyone. And that's also another reason why we want further engagement, right? Because the more hands that are in, the less work it is for all, in which we can then give greater help to more, right? And it doesn't take much more. So again, don't know if I answered it, but
that was good. That was good. So, thinking about And also, please, if you have any questions or things you want to hear from the board about, please, by all means, put it in the chat. I know that the chat has not been shy today, as per usual in this in the virtual conference, but feel free to ask away. But we have, we've entered into partnerships with organizations, and we work with manufacturers in industry partners. Like, how are we advocating for higher ed's unique needs, by using our industry partners? Like, I know that was one of the things that this organization was founded on, like elevating our profile, like um maybe peek, let everybody peek behind the curtain a little bit. Like, how are we doing this?
We yell really loud. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's, as we've had more partners, we have just been very open. We've been honest about our needs. We have our advisory committees. Chris Kelly does a great job setting that stuff up and taking care of that. And we are not shy there. And they the partners love to hear the uniqueness that we are bringing. There's a lot of schools use different products in different ways, even though sometimes they don't even mean for them to be used. And it's not just with, manufacturers. We're being very vocal with integrators. We're being very vocal to consultants, which could be a dirty word to some people, to let them know that we have very unique needs, and we're not going to stop voicing that until you find a way to meet our needs. And that's like I just said, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Don't stop until we see the change. And I feel that we are starting to see the change.
Yeah. And I definitely feel like I mean, even at a university such as mine, like Johns Hopkins University, people hear the name, they know the name. Even on the other side of the world, when I say that I'm from Johns Hopkins University, they've heard of it. They know that, that's a school. But prior to being part of HETMA, I really did not hear from many reps. Like, I had my couple of, big major ones. But I feel like we have really, I think where we've had a lot of growth is also the understanding in the industry that higher education is a vertical to be reckoned with, that we can help them help us help them. like and I think that's one of the places that I think have shown our, where, some growth in helping in the industry.
We occupy a unique space where, like, there are not a lot of other people in the industry that touch every aspect of every project, right? I mean, uh, we design the new stuff, we install the new stuff, we program the new stuff, we support the new stuff, and then we take the new stuff out when it becomes old. Like, there aren't a lot of other people who participate in every aspect of the life cycle of equipment, and we can offer kind of a unique perspective. And there's no benefit to, you know what I mean? The benefit I gain from, offering that feedback is a better product, right? There's no like monetary incentive, there's nothing like, I don't gain anything by not offering like honest critical feedback to them. So it's good feedback to get from any manufacturers who aren't taking advantage of it.
Yeah. Um, any other thoughts on that one? Okay. So with with the time that we have left, I kind of want to shift a little bit into like future vision. And so I'm going to start with BC and Joe. You had a vision when you founded HETMA. Where, how does where we are today compared to what you had imagined?
It's not. That's the short answer for me is that it's grown and changed and evolved in ways that I don't think that Joe or I even thought about or anticipated. We originally just wanted to be able for folks to have a voice, in the industry, to manufacturers, and saying, "Hey, I need this. This doesn't, this needs to work better for me," or "Hey, I'm having all these problems. Please come help." And it has since evolved into what it is today.
Yeah, echo that. We could have never imagined it. We didn't, that it would become what it is, from our original vision. I think the only thing I keep going back to are kind of two principles: free for everyone, and making sure that we give others a voice. That's kind of what it was there, and then let everything else just happen. And so it's great to see the org still, those are the two principles. And even when we feel like, okay, we're going off track maybe, or we're getting off and focusing on this, coming back to those two principles, right, is always been, it's what's great. Those are the kind of the two anchors of this. So like I don't even want to vision for what the future. I think that's for the rest of the board to answer, not for BC and I to answer, right?
Yeah, I think that the important thing is that we've never wanted to constrain the way that it grows. We've been kind of fearless in the way that we throw ourselves out there. So it's an open forum, and I think Joe said it a couple of times that whenever someone says, "Hey, why don't we do this?" and he goes, "Thank you for volunteering to do that." That's kind of how HETMA's grown. Is someone comes with an idea, and yes, thank you for volunteering to do that. We'll take it. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is like, what does success look like for HETMA as an organization? And I've thought about that in many different ways. Like, obviously, like, we've got all these numbers. Is that really success? Turning those numbers into engagement and real action. I think that may be pointing a little bit more towards a good definition of success for HETMA, but I feel like, um for me, success is that everybody feels like they have a place here, that they belong, that we are getting all of, the people who want to be part of this organization feel like they are included and they are, a genuine contributor and part of what we're building. Um, but yeah, but anybody else, is there kind of like, what does success look like to you for this organization?
I mean, it's a hard thing to say, right? I mean, we've grown so fast and everything, but I think at the end of the day, I think that we're successful if we've helped, one school gain better access to something. Like like success in an organization like this is measured in like the small things, not the big things, I think. Like the individual, like those conversations, like just the growth and the people like on the board and chairs since I've, been a chair, like to see the way that people have grown in their careers. I like the way I grew in my career personally. I mean, that's the success of the organization, the growth of the people, the growth of the members, the connections we create amongst our partners, our channel partners and our members. Like that's where that success comes from.
So not really measurements of success, but like some things I think that you all have unintentionally done for me was a lot of like leadership, professional development for me. Working with other leaders, see how they manage, on top of like helping me a bit, helping me to try to be a better public speaker. I'm actually a very shy and backwards person for the most part, and you all probably would not know that. And like things that maybe we could offer is a public speaking mentorship, or through Heave, we could start like a writing mentorship to try to help get more people involved with writing articles and opinions for higher ed AV media, like those kinds of things for more leadership roles on top of all the technical stuff that we offer, because we do have a lot of technical writing and technical knowledge happening within within the community. Sorry, I saw my name from Kamisha over there and it caught me off guard. You know how I am. But like things like that we could offer to help more members to be able to grow so that we do have more voices out there. Because, just because you're involved, sometimes you may be overwhelmed, and try to help you be less overwhelmed.
No, I love that idea, Teddy. That made me think like not only doing kind of like writing seminar kind of things or helping each other out, but potentially like a Toastmasters of sorts to help people with public speaking. Because I know that I'm still got a lot to learn when it comes to public speaking, but I've gotten a lot better since being a member of HETMA, and now I
Could, could we
speak
just
all
have
out.
it? Could we just have a Toastmasters chapter? In theory, couldn't that a thing that we could theoretically just do?
Thank you for volunteering to be the chair of
I did not volunteer for that at all. Thank you very much. I got enough going on.
But the thing is, though, I mean, what is success? And I know we've said it over and over and over that, and Mike reiterated here too, that it's about engagement and not necessarily. But I look at it this way: the little things, and I know my very first thing of what I said I'm most proud of is U.S. leadership, how you've taken us over. Because our last board meetings, we were already planning what next year's theme is. The Higher AV Awards are already up. Infocom stuff is already out. Like, I'm the least organized person on earth. Okay. The fact that you all have taken this organization and really structured it to become a well-oiled machine. What Ryan and Chris and everyone is doing with Higher AV Media is like, that's already the success factor. Now it's keep doing and let the fruit of that be born, right? And that was our goal when we did the press conference back in July, right? And that to me has just been awesome. And another tangible thing, ISE, right? We were there. We were talking about how I don't want to, I guess we can share this. I mean, I told the board, 2 weeks ago that I'm stepping away from all operational leadership and it's all yours and I'm out. Oh, there, breaking news, hashtag breaking news. Usually we save that for the last day, but here's the thing, at ISE, they weren't coming to me for all the interviews. They were going to you, Erin. Every time media came around, they're like, we need to interview Erin. We need to interview Erin. And I'm like, I'm chopped liver now. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just work the tap.
The
But I
same
think
was true. The first time we did ISE and we were doing interviews for people, I thought Joe was going to be here. I thought Joe was doing this interview, right? The last 2 years, it's Britt, it's me, it's other people. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, HETMA's the name that they're associating with it. And that's the key part. It's awesome. Doesn't matter which one of us in the green shirt is the one, because everyone in the green shirt is seen as, a full rep of the org.
Yes. And I love this conversation that's happening, but I want to make sure that we keep this train on the track, and I don't want to take away any time from the session that is coming up next. But first, I want to say thank you to our incredible board of directors for your transparency, your passion, and your unwavering commitment to this community. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to getting to talk more to everybody during our networking times about the organization and everything like that. So the state of HETMA is strong because of all of you, and thank you for being part of this journey. But let's get back to the a amazing virtual conference and keep learning, connecting, and growing together.